Welcome to the RoC Management Insights, the videocast interview series of the profile unit Responsible Corporate Competitiveness of the University of St. Gallen. I am Katrina Klöckner and I'm here today with Robert Winter and Jörg Meyer. Robert Winter is full professor of Business Information Systems Engineering at the University of St. Gallen. He's the director of the Institute of Information Management and, among many other things, founding academic director of the Executive Master in Business Engineering. Jörg Meyer's profession is twofold. He is head of the Competence Center Corporate Management Systems at the same institute. In addition, he works as a senior expert for McKinsey & Company in their business technology office. They conduct joint research concerning the topic management information systems and management accounting. And today we are here to talk about the Corporate Navigator, a new generation executive information system supporting top managers in managing a company. Robert and Jörg, thank you so much for being here today. First, let's talk about your specific challenge in your research. Basically, your question, or you're interested in the question how companies are managed. And more specifically, you are dealing with the role information technology can play to support managers in this task. But taking into consideration all the different kinds of executive information systems on the market, why do you think is there a specific need for top managers for a new system, and why do you think is it more crucial today than it was in the past?
Yeah, I would say the first generation of executive information systems dates back to the early 1990s. And that's more than 20 years ago, and at that time the general architecture of information system was different. So on the one hand, for example, there was much less integration capabilities of systems, so that executive information systems have been developed as monolithic systems, stand-alone, not very integrated into the total architecture of information systems. On the other hand, at that time, these kind of solutions have been developed quite individually by companies. They're not standardized at all, so every company tried to build their executive information system. And these two things have changed over the last 20 years. So today, most companies are combining, configuring their information systems from standardized components, which are developed very professionally and can be rearranged and reconfigured when demand changes. And on the other hand, they also can much better integrate executive information systems and executive support with the underlying many operational systems. So things have fundamentally changed over the last 20 years. And in many EIS used today, because they date back to the early 1990s, this general, not very current architecture is still embedded. And so we think there should be something completely new, something fundamentally new in the architecture of enterprise information systems.
I fully agree with Professor Winter, and I want to make two additional comments regarding our Financial Times survey. It was a survey with CEOs and CFOs from large international companies, so real top management. First, these executives told us that they have expanded their day-to-day business in parallel to their strategic leadership. So they want to have a more business-driven architecture with drill-throughs, even to the most important KPIs, key performance indicators. Second, they told us that they have to make decisions faster than in the past. So they need a better system handling. They want to have the most important KPIs at a glance. So in a top-down pyramid with the easy-to-use system handling, so that they can manage, operate their system by themselves.
Okay. And what would you say is innovative at the Corporate Navigator? Or other question, why should managers know about it?
The Corporate Navigator is our framework, our architecture to support executives managing their company. It is based on requirements validated in our Financial Times survey. And we asked the CEOs and CFOs not just about their requirements towards a new generation information systems, but we even asked them how their current systems are measured up. And with that comparison, we can work on the most important pain points. Mm-hmm. And second, the Corporate Navigator incorporates a business to IT architecture, so designed in terms of 4 layers: strategy, organization, alignment, and IT support. And that's our St. Galler business engineering approach, our methodology for companies in the information age. Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's another feature that should be mentioned, and that's modularity. Modularity means that systems shouldn't be monolithic anymore. They should be flexibly composed out of components. And in our Corporate Navigator, we also have these components. For example, we have what we call the corporate portfolio, which is really a top-level, very concise view of the whole company. Or we have this one-page report that is basically 20 most important KPIs, but of course not always the same KPIs, but always those KPIs that are considered to be important for that company or even for that manager that uses the system. Mm-hmm. And on the third level, we have different topical reports. And this is not fixed, and this is not, well, bound together as a monolithic system, but it's modules that can be rearranged. Okay. The navigation between them can be rearranged according not only to the company needs, but also even to the working style. So modularity and adaptability is a very important feature that systems nowadays should have, which they didn't have 20 years ago.
Okay. So you say the Corporate Navigator is or increases the business value of the company's data by bundling the relevant KPIs, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Coming or just talking about the application, how was it applied? How was it implemented and evaluated yet?
Yeah, of course, for research, that's always a challenge to be very rigorous, of course, but also very relevant. And there are different models around how to best combine this relevance and rigor issue. Our approach at the Institute of Information Management is what we call the competence center approach, which means that we run topical areas, for example, corporate management systems, as a consortium of a research institution, and that's of course University of St. Gallen, of user companies, big user companies that are really interested in innovation, but also top consultancies and also software vendors that implement solutions. So bringing together these different parties allows us to approach a problem, a new generation of executive information systems, but not approach it in a one-to-one way, which is more like consulting, but do it together with many companies, even with software, professional software companies that can build professional systems. And by bringing together all these parties, we can develop not only a singular solution for one company, but a solution that is generic and solves a kind of problem that many companies have. So that's a good way to combine relevancy, really solving a problem, and rigor, which means creating a generic solution and not an individual solution that works only at one company. So that's a general approach. Basically, we conduct a number of workshops where we commonly, jointly evaluate results and discuss options and consolidate requirements. And on the other hand, we need to go into the field. We really need to test our proposals, our innovations, which means we do bilateral projects with companies. We build prototypes. We have the prototypes implemented and used in our partner companies and can see what value they really create. And for us, that is a very, well, effective model of combining generic problem solution, which is our kind of design research, and relevance, which means that these things are really tested, they are really applied, and we can see how they are used and what value they create.
Perfect.
That means for the Corporate Navigator, we first took such a bilateral project with a large international chemical group to identify their requirements to re-engineer their information system. To bring in standard software, we took SAP on their desktops. In addition, we had new features of mobile devices, so we are the first having a complete corporate management system on the iPad. And at the moment we take these 4 prototypes, looking how the executives work with our corporate navigator and to learn about how to improve our approach. And we call that design for use.
So what do you think can be learned from this innovative solution?
We learned on one side that a one-size-fits-all concept is not working for these user groups because executives reject IT if it do not fit to the content and even worse to the system handling. On the other side, pure 100% individualization do not work due to cost reasons or consistency of the data or the screen. And so we have to find a balance between this one-size-fits-all concept and this individualization. And we think that the key could be this balance to find key user groups. For example, in a company, 3 or 4 user types.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's an important insight that we only can have when we really build things and see how things, innovative things, are used. Well, in general, one can say by having these systems, this new generation of systems implemented and field tested, we can say, well, it is possible to apply these new paradigms of how information systems are built and used also to executive information support. That was, if you want to, the most central insight of this project. But there are secondary insights associated with this, and that also pave the road for what we plan in the future. And that is to not only being able to adapt such a system from standard components to the individual company needs, but also within the company, within the set of senior executives, being able even to find out something like, or to identify something like working style, and be able to adapt the systems to working style. Or to see that these systems are used in very different situations, and being able to configure the system and adapt the system to the situation in what it is used. So we have much more adaptation directions and adaptation mechanisms discovered during the course of this project than we were aware of when we started it. And that's the road to the future. That's what we plan to do in the future. Take into consideration the situation in which you use such a system, how you work, how you like to work, which is, by the way, not dependent on age, it's not dependent on geography. You find 4 types of senior executives in the field of company management systems in every company, in every big company. And it's important to be able to adapt these systems to the working style of these managers, to the situation in which they use it, and even to the device. How it is used. Whether you're connected via a secure network connection, whether you're traveling, whether you are in a plane. It's very different usage situations and very different devices that you can use. And modern information technology is able, and that ability should be transformed into executive information systems, to adapt your support system to the way you use it, how you work, and which device you have. And that's what we plan to do in the as next steps in this project.
Very interesting. Robert, Jörg, thank you so much for joining us today. This was University of St. Gallen's Robert Winter and Jörg Meyer. And their insights was about the corporate navigator and the role it can play in corporate management. For more information, please visit our website.